Don't major in the minor. And what I mean by that is there will be some major issues that come up in your life because we all live and we're going to go through it. You can't dodge it. There will be some major issues that come up in your life, and then there will be some small stuff that come in your life that, listen, I could pick and choose if I want to put my time and energy into this or if I want to move on to something else. Sometimes those small issues, we make them so big in our lives that they don't even count. And I'm talking about they don't even count with what you're doing, with where you're trying to go. But we could get so caught up in the small things. We could get caught up in the small petty arguments. We could get caught up in our job. We could get caught up in conflicts with our family. We could get caught up in conflicts with our school. And I always say you have to keep the main thing the main thing. You really have to pick and choose your battles because you don't want to waste time. You will not get your time back. With your time, you are investing. With your time, you are researching. With your time, you are getting better. You do not want to waste your time with the minor issues that's not going to well, that will cause you to get in the way, I should say, right? You major in the minor issues and it will get in the way of certain things. And some of that stuff, listen, I'm a work in progress myself. Some of that stuff you just got to let go. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna use people as an example because we all got something example with some people that we done had an issue with or we done had like great moments with or whatever. And there are some people, there are some situations that have taken place in my life that I have made such a major issue, which guess what? Now us being in the end of the year, I can't months have went by, time have went by, and even up until this point, years have went by. I can't tell you the name of the person. I can't tell you what job I was on when things happened. I can't tell you what city I was in because some things just don't matter. We put so much time and so much effort in little things, and it's crazy because the little things seem like it makes the most noise, right? It seems like that's the loudest or whatever. But when you look back and when you look at the overall picture, you just have to sit back and ask yourself, okay, what's more important? Because guess what? What's making the most noise is actually going to die out. There are seasons in your life. It's actually going to die out. There are seasons in your life, and one thing about seasons, they do change. Seasons do change, and sometimes you can't remember what you did last fall and last winter. So you have to tune out the noise, right? You have to tune out your noise. You have to fine tune your hearing. There will be distractions. You cannot get distracted. It's possible to, I'm not saying you're never going to get distracted, but you got to learn how to get back on track quickly. You can't stay there. And this is where your circle comes into play. This is where the people that's around you come into play. I always say there are what I call dream killers. They don't intend to kill your dream, but because they don't see not having the energy that you have, but they don't have the potential that you have. So they may be comfortable where they're at, they may be complacent where they're at, and it's easy for you to, like you heard that Fitz saying before, misery loves company, right? Well, in this case, they're not miserable, but they love the company. They love the people that surround them because they're like-minded. You cannot be that way. You cannot stay in the familiar. You cannot stay in the comfortability because where you're going, it's not comfortable. And where you're going, for some of us, it's not familiar to us. But that's a new plan for us. That's a new route for us. Listen, I'm all about motivation and encouragement, but majoring in the minor things, getting in the petty arguments, putting stuff to the side, working on a less more achievable goal than what you're trying to accomplish because everybody else is doing it. Let me get into a saturated market. Everybody's doing this business, everybody's doing this job. Let me do it because that's what everybody else is doing. And that's not your passion. That's not where you're supposed to be. Do not major in the minor. Those are little things. Those are little things that you don't need with you on this journey. Or how I like to say, take the meat and leave the bones. Let me take something that's going to help me. Let me take something that's going to grow me, right? Because like I said, life throws us curveball, but we don't go, and we're going to go through some things, but we're going to grow through some things.